Hey, what's up guys, TotallyDubbed here, and today I'm going to show you how to flash back to stock, and in fact how to send back your Samsung Galaxy S3 back to Samsung for warranty purposes or whatnot. So I would presume that if you're watching this video you are already rooted. If you're not already rooted, then you can skip this initial bit of the video. Basically what I'm going to first of all do is show you a flash counter that is on the Samsung Galaxy S3. So just to show you, I am rooted. I've got titanium backup, for example, over here, and as you will see it will ask for root permissions, and it's got root permissions. So first of all, I'm going to show you that I've got a flash counter which is on the Samsung Galaxy S3, because this will show you why I'm doing this step. And this step is basically installing Triangle Away by Chainfire and getting rid of this flash counter. So first of all, I went into download mode with down, home and power key. And it'll come up with this warning, so press up on the volume key, and over here you'll be able to see how many times I've flashed this phone. So over here I've flashed it 3 times, and in fact all those 3 times were CF root. And as you can see, the current binary is custom, system status is custom. So there you go. So that just gives you an idea of what it is there. So I'm going to go ahead and reboot the phone by holding down the power key, and it should reboot. It should switch off and reboot. There you go. And so Triangle Away is actually a free app that you can find on XDA developers. And I'll link down in the description or on my website the XDA post where you can see Chainfire at the bottom of his post provides Triangle Away for free. However, me being the person I am, I guess anyone who has any appreciation for developers, I have actually bought the app from the Play Store, and I would encourage you to buy it as well. I haven't even used the app yet, but I decided to buy it just simply to support the developer, and in this case the developer is Chainfire, which has done a lot of work for many devices, and now the Samsung Galaxy S3. So as you can see, I had that flash counter. So first of all, before we flash a ROM, what you want to make sure is you've got everything backed up. Now that would be messages, contacts, for example, which are stored on your phone, and any sort of files that you find important. Titanium backup is a great way of backing up apps, and that is something that I use. I have to mention something else, and something that I've discovered with Anu at HD Tech video, and that was the fact of wiping your internal SD card. I'll get onto that a little bit later, but basically please do not go into settings, and over here you'll see backup and reset and factory data reset. That will wipe your internal SD card. We will want to do that, but not just straight away, because I want to show you what in recovery factory resetting does. Factory resetting would factory reset the phone, which means resetting everything, but will not delete the internal SD card, which is basically this little baby, which has got all my files or things that I want to flash, or my more importantly my titanium backup. But we'll get onto that a little bit later, because what we'll need to do is have a clean internal SD card before sending it into Samsung, for example, or sending it into someone that you've sold the phone to. Anyway, so what we're going to do is open up Triangle Away app. And there you go. You will need root permissions for this. So therefore, that's why I was assuming that you're rooted. If you're going to use the Triangle Away app, you will need to be rooted. So if you're rooted, well, there you go. You'll need to do this step because you'll have a flash counter which will be there. Because if you're rooted, you're probably rooted by flashing Clockwork recovery, and so you'll need to do that. Or you flash CF root, for example. So yeah, so here we go, we can see reset flash counter. We're going to click that and press continue. Right, so here you go, my flash counter is at 3 and the binary status is at custom. So I'm going to zoom in there for you guys, and you can see volume up to reset the counter and status, volume down to reboot. So I'm going to go volume up. There you go, it's resetting the status. So when I let it boot up, right, so it's booted up, as you can see. I have still probably got, yeah, I've still got root. So I'm going to switch it off and just prove to you that it actually did its job. So remember, down on the volume, home and power after it switches off, or in fact actually buzzes. There we go, it's buzzed. So after that, press up. And there you go, as you can see, custom binary download, no. Current binary Samsung official. System status, official. So we are now, in theory, we haven't ever flashed this phone, which is brilliant. But what we do want to do is actually do flash this phone. So this is currently in download mode, which is brilliant. But what we're going to try and do is go into clockwork recovery. So we're going to go up, power, and power key all at the same time. I know it doesn't say do not turn off target, but that's do not turn off target whilst it's being downloaded. Obviously there's nothing connected there at the moment. And so we're going to enter recovery now. And there we go. As we've entered recovery, what we're going to do is wipe data factory reset for starters. This will uninstall all your apps. That was too quick. Uninstall all your apps and everything. Wipe cache, and finally go into advanced and wipe Dalvik cache. You'll always get this unknown error which comes due to the external SD card being there. Wipe cache, there we go. Right, and now we're going to reboot system now. Right, so the phone's just booted up, and as you can see, it is completely stock. And it hasn't saved, well, it shouldn't have saved my, there you go, it hasn't saved my network. We have cookies. So we're just going to go skip. So as you can see, I'm on stock, apart from one thing of course, which is the battery notification there, which I had changed, but that is part of the ROM, so we'll get onto that later. So as you can see, all my things, all my settings have gone. I've got nothing in here anymore. As you can see, it's TouchWiz launcher. And you can see all my apps have been uninstalled, but I have still got root permission. So I will update SU. So you can see I've still got super user. So we will need to get rid of that. And to get rid of that, we'll be flashing a stock firmware. Now, just to show you, I'm going to go into my internal SD card, and as you can see, my internal SD card is still present. All the things in my internal SD card have stayed, despite the fact we factory resetted via clockwork recovery. This is my external SD card, which is still fine as it should be. Right, so now what we're going to do is switch off the phone, and we're going to go into download mode, just like we did before. Down, home, power, up to continue, and there you go. And I can still confirm, as we haven't flashed anything yet, that it's still on no and Samsung official and official. So there you go. Right, so now we're going to go up to the PC. And you can see this is chain fires post right there. Right, so what you want to do is first of all download the ROM which is suited for you. In my case it's LE8, and you can find the official ROMs, or you can find the stock firmwares by Faryab on XDA developers. Again, that will be linked. The current official one, as of the 19th of June 2012, is XXALF2, and that's the one I have got, or I had installed on my phone via Kai's, officially installed. What I'm gonna do is install XXALE8, which is the one which originally came with my phone before upgrading. Now the reason I'm doing this is just to show you guys that the fact that my phone will be official enough that Samsung Kais will be able to pick up my phone and upgrade it. So that means it is fully official, meaning you can still use it with Kais to upgrade if you need. For example, this ROM that I have got now, I can use this at any time, including in a year's time, and Samsung Kais would update it in a year's time to the official one that should be there at that time. Right, so after you've downloaded this file, you will also need Odin, and in this case it's Odin 3. Any Odin versions really can do, but in this case it's Odin 3, and Odin 3 looks like this. It's all nice and looks pretty fancy. So open that up. My suggestion is when you open it up, run it as administrator. So I'll do that for you guys. Right click and run it as administrator, just to be on the safe side. I know I'm an administrator on my PC, but sometimes it's worth doing. As you can see, I haven't touched anything. All we're going to do is hit PDA and go and navigate to where the file that we had. The file that we had will be downloaded as a zip file, but you'll want to unzip that file and it'll give you a folder. And within this folder you'll have a MD5 file. So click that and press open. And as you can see, it will be PDA ticked and don't touch anything else. That includes PIT and that includes repartition. We do not need to touch them or put anything in there. So leave them as it is. Right, so now we're going to get our wire, and here's a Samsung Galaxy S3. I want to plug in our USB cable there. And obviously the drivers, if you haven't got them, will install normally automatically, but it's again another thing I suggest is to install the drivers, and to install that you can download Samsung Kais to get the drivers and it will automatically download for you, or if not, plug it in and Windows should do its magic, and which it normally does. So there you go. So now we've got the phone connector, as you can see, COM7, and I'm going to hit start. Now when I hit start, you should not unplug your phone from the PC, because at this point it's trying to flash a firmware, meaning that anything you do, any changes you do on your phone might result in bricking your phone. So what we're going to do is give this some time, and I'll get back to you guys after it's done. And this is still in the process, but I just want to show you over here we've got a remaining counter time, which is counting down, and this is on Odin 3. If you got Odin 1.5, you won't have a remaining time, it will just be flashing on its own. But as you can see, it's doing its thing. When I paused the video and resumed it just now, Odin went not responding, but don't worry, just give it time and it comes, and as you can see it's doing its thing, so just leave it. And at the phone, as you can see, it is downloading and it's moving the blue bar from left to right. So we're just going to leave it and wait until it reboots. So I'll get back to you guys after Odin has finished or has almost finished. Right, so Odin has just finished, and as you can see, this is what the phone is looking like, and it's just going to boot up now. And on Odin it took 3 minutes and 30 seconds. So you can see you got the pass symbol there. 3 minutes 30. I'm gonna go back to the phone. There you go, Android is upgrading, as you can see. Right, so you can now unplug your phone and you can close Odin completely. And so what I'm gonna do is show you what I am on. And as you can see, I'm on LE8, as I was supposed to be. And here is my the info, build number, Android version, model number and whatnot. And so now what we're gonna do, as we're on we're fully official now, there's two things we want to do. First of all is wipe the internal SD card completely. And what I would suggest is to factory reset, but instead this time we'll factory reset via our settings. So we're going to go there, settings, and let me actually just show you my internal SD card. here's my internal SD card, and here's my external SD card. And so what we're going to do, go settings, backup and reset, factory data reset, and normally it'll come up, I just had to take that, normally it comes up with your emails and stuff if you've never done it before, but as we had done it previously, it's already been factory resetted and erase everything. So now this should, in theory, delete the internal SD card as well. Let us see. Right, as you can see, factory resetted the phone, just like before. And as you can see, my internal SD card is now completely wiped. I have got none of my things. If you remember, I was scrolling through, I had other things in here. They're all gone, but my external SD card remains untouched. Obviously the external SD card you'll be removing if you're sending it back, quite obviously, but unless you want to give them something. But your internal SD card is now wiped, so there you go. So now you've got the phone on an official firmware, and you've got the internal SD card wiped. Now there's two more steps to freedom, basically. It's the CSC. Now the CSC is quite important because if you're in, for example, I don't know, Malaysia, and you're flashing what I just flashed, your CSC won't be correct for your region, and the region is specific. So what we're going to do is check the CSC. Now how to do this, first of all you go *H06H, hit H, and you'll get the CSC number, the IMEI number, sorry. And that will allow us to get into the CSC. That number you don't want to give because that's a number that is unique to your phone and is to protect the identity of your phone, put it that way, and it's usually made to protect it against theft. So do not give that number to anyone, just a heads up. Now once you've got that number, note it down on a little piece of paper. I've got a little piece of paper which I'm going to look at in just a second. And now what we're going to do to enter the CSC chooser, so to speak, is go *H272*, and now you want to put in your number. So I'm going to do that now. Right, so after you've entered your IMEI number, so it's *H272* IMEI number, and then followed by the hash key, you'll be prompted with this screen. And this screen is the CSC chooser. As you can see, I'm on BTU, which is the correct one for my phone. However, if you're on KOR, for example, you want to hit BTU and then hit install. What this will do is factory reset your phone again, but you'll be on the right CSC. What I suggest is if it's on the wrong one, click it, install it, wait for the phone to reboot, and once it's rebooted, then double check your CSC is now on the correct one. We're doing this because or else Kais won't pick up your phone if it's not on the right country code. So now what we're going to do is our final step, and that final step is connecting it to Kais and seeing if the phone is recognized. So this is basically the ultimate step in knowing if it's official. So what we're going to do is open up Kais on the PC. Right, as you can see, Samsung Kais has loaded, and we've got our phone over here, so just unlock it. That's fine. Right, and so now we want to connect our phone in. Right, so there you go, success. It has connected, and as you can see, I am prompted with the update. And as you can see, I was telling you beforehand that LF2 was the official firmware to flash, and it is indeed the official firmware to flash, and I'm currently on LE8. So what we're going to do in this case, and considering I might use this guide if needs be in the future, and this might be, I don't know, XW1 for example, or whatever it is, I don't know. you can now update it, and it will be officially updated via Kai's. So now we're officially updating our phone via Kai's to the latest firmware provided by Samsung. So I have read, proceed without saving, start upgrade, and basically this will upgrade your phone. And again, just like Odin, do not disconnect your phone at any given time. Just let Kai's do its thing, and it will take some time. Kai's does take a lot of time, I've got to admit. It's much slower than Odin, but it will do its thing, and once it's done, you'll be officially on the latest firmware. And in this case, for today, on the 19th of June 2012, it is LF2 for me. So that might obviously depend on region. It might depend if you're unlocked or not locked, i.e. if you're on a contract, you might be not released for the latest firmware yet. You have to check with your provider and whatnot, but usually you can know from a little bit of Google searching. It's not very hard to do. So what we're going to do is let the phone upgrade, and I'll get back to you guys after the phone is completely upgraded, and we'll go from there. CS3 just booting up now. As you can see, Kai's is successfully upgraded. So we just zoom in right there. Now we're on LF2 with BTU modem. Or BTU, sorry, CSC is what I meant. And so we can press OK on Kai's. There we go. And if you go down to the phone, you'll see Android is upgrading. And so now we'll be on the latest firmware, whichever that is in the future. As I said, as of today, it is going to be LF2 in my case at least, and so in the future, no matter what it is, it will upgrade it. So if ever I need to do it, I will do it the same way I'm doing this. I'll probably follow my own guide, to be quite honest, because I did that quite a few times with my Galaxy S1. So there we go. So there you go. As you can see, I can unplug the phone, and we can check that we're on the latest firmware. As you can see, we're on LF2, and then we'll go into phone, and you can see I'm on LF2 as well. And so there you go. So now your phone is fully stock on the latest firmware, no matter what firmware that might be in the future, but as of today, as I said, it is LF2. And as you can see, my internal SD card is completely wiped, meaning that there is no evidence of titanium backup or super user or anything like that being inside. And as you can see in my applications, there is no super user, and therefore I have got no super user permissions. Finally, just to top it off, let me just go into my flash counter. Let's power off the phone. Hold the 3-button combo. And there you go. I can confirm that I'm on an official ROM, and I've never flashed it ever before, supposedly. Custom binary download, no. Current binary Samsung official. System status official. So as you can see, I've never flashed a phone, well again, supposedly, and I am on a stock ROM. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, guys and girls. I hope this has been helpful. If you've got any questions, please do post them in the comments below or on my website. And remember to credit the developers which helped. For example, Chainfire with his Triangle Way app, Faryab for providing some of the things, Sam Mobile for the other files as well, the stock files. So it gives you several developers, for example, and several, say, companies or websites to credit, and there you go. And obviously, finally, to thank Anu at HD Tech Video, a good mate of mine, a guy which makes similar videos to mine, of the Samsung Galaxy S3 and Samsung Galaxy S1. He's a great guy, and he makes great videos as well, so you should check him out too. So hope you've enjoyed this video, guys, and that's how to flash back to stock and to get your warranty and to send it into Samsung by TotallydubbedHD. Take care, guys. Bye bye.